Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? Welcome to Old School Knicks. We are getting off to a slower start. I apologize for that, man. Had three shows going or two shows going. This will be the third. This will be the third. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to my people. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to Mega NYK. Call Mega. What's good? Mr. Atkins, what's happening? What's good, man? I see you. My chair. Who else we got? The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building. I am waiting on my main man, AD. He should be here shortly. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I'm running a little bit late, man, because Lee and Bully them, man, was about to jump off the screen at somebody, man. So I had to kind of go help them get through that a little bit. Some brotherly love, man. Let them know, man, that we are still family. You know what I'm saying? One person jump in the chat and try to troll and whatever. We still family here. So don't want to have somebody day messed up. They're my brothers. You know what I'm saying? That those are my brothers. So you don't want to, what I'm saying, see their day get messed up. So my man Anthony D is on the way. So we have a topic, man. I have a topic for you. Have the Knicks arrived? Have the Knicks arrived? I want to talk to AD about this. I want to talk to you guys about this also. I want to talk to y'all about this also. What I've noticed over the past 3 months. It's July, right? So last 4 months. Now it appears that the Knicks, as an organization, as a team, have been involved in national conversations that are generally reserved for the Lakers, for the Celtics. The Knicks are now in conversations reserved for organizations like the Golden State Warriors. Right? And I know that means nothing to some, and it means little to others. But what I've noticed is just being in general conversations with great franchises means the Knicks may have taken a step or two in the right direction. Now, does it mean that the Knicks have arrived? I don't know. Therein lies the question. When the Knicks are being looked at more favorably than the Toronto Raptors, who won a championship recently, or hey, Greeny, what's good? Hey, Mr. Hughes is in the building. I see y'all, man. Salute. Mr. Murphy in the building. When the Knicks are in a conversation with the Milwaukee Bucks, when the Knicks are in conversations with the Lakers, with competition for supposed free agents, competition with supposed stars around the league. Stars around the league are legitimately linked to the Knicks now. Have the Knicks arrived? So what we'll do over the next hour or so is maybe talk about that and content that's related to that with the man that is so smooth. He does not require a chaser. Yeah, I'll put some fire emojis in the chat for New York's finest. Anthony D in the place to be. What's good, sir?
You caught me in the middle of.
Oh boy, I caught him in the middle. I caught him in the middle of a show. I'm in the middle of a show. AD, just flag me when you're ready. AD in the place to be. So whenever he's ready, he'll flag me and then he'll jump up here with us, and then we'll chop it up. So here's the thing. Whether as a Knicks fan you acknowledge the fact that the Knicks are now in the national, even global conversation of being a good team. Man, I thought you was gonna. Okay, what's up, boss?
Okay. Good morning.
Man, you dressed up sharp. Where you going? You look like Lando. Y'all, what's yeah, from Star Wars. Yeah. What's good, brother?
Nothing much. We here chilling. Good morning. Salute, Knicks fans. Pardon my tardiness and so forth to the nation. Thanks for joining us once again. I didn't mean to interrupt your soliloquy.
Nah, man. I was just talking with the chat. Just chopping it up with the chat.
Where we at with it? The Doomsday?
Have the Knicks arrived?
Have we arrived where? Is a party going on?
There's a party going on right here. A celebration. Yeah.
To last throughout the year?
Yeah.
As we say, these are like the brokest 5 heartbeats last 2 members I've ever seen in my life.
It's a good time and a party too.
Yeah, I mean, I like DiVincenzo. I've always liked DiVincenzo. I remember him in that, that Monday night, game in Villanova where he took over. He just went ham.
Yeah.
Right. But as I was telling someone yesterday, not that I want to put this out there and so forth, but I don't see how these pieces fit, especially the guard pieces. You got DiVincenzo. The easy question is, what are you doing with Quickly?
Okay.
So I don't think we arrived, but I like the DiVincenzo piece. I like him piece. It's another piece.
But the thing about it, AD, is when you cook dinner, you don't buy all your ingredients at the same time. You go to the grocery store, you buy your ingredients, and sometimes it don't look like dinner until you start dinner, and then you go pick up the stuff that you bought. So ultimately, what I'm getting at is just because the Knicks pieces are not in order, don't mean they don't have the pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like you go get a DiVincenzo, you don't go get a DiVincenzo thinking that he's going to solve the issues, knowing that there are still issues out there for them to resolve. But you add a DiVincenzo because the time is right for you to get a DiVincenzo. You know what I mean?
But are we going to be back here? See, I hate to do this because it makes us look like we're impatient, or it makes me look like I'm impatient.
Who, a Knicks fan?
Yeah. Definitely makes me look like. Well, I am impatient. I don't give a damn. I am impatient. I want to
Okay.
see a damn championship.
Okay.
I want to drink some champagne in the champagne room. How about
Pop
that?
champagne. Yes.
Yeah, but in the champagne room. No,
Yes.
that's what I want to
On
do.
a nice soft couch.
So, warm day, acting rowdy. You
Yes.
know, you know,
Yes.
shooting my various shots
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
whoever's in the crowd, at whoever's out there. That's what
Yeah.
I want to do.
Right.
So, forgive me for my lack of patience, but is it peace? Yeah. I just want to see some more pieces. I want to understand what the plan is. As
Right.
of today, I don't. I don't understand what the plan is.
No pun intended. Though the Knicks at least popped the cork. No pun intended. They at least made a move.
They popped the court.
Yes, they at least made a move.
They got
Right.
they got the first base.
Yeah, yeah. They made 3 moves in a 24-hour stretch.
I think you're more happy that they got rid of Obi. I think that's where this gleefulness, this underlying gleefulness. Because let's be fair, in the 3 years that he was here, you put more dents in him than a George Foreman punching bag. Keep it
Right,
above.
right.
So I think you're happy that he's no longer gonna be there because he's used up his resolve. He can no longer take the body blows the way he used to with you. So I think that's where your happiness comes from.
So I'm not really happy, right? I'm not really happy or excited. I do understand the DiVincenzo move, and I like it, but I'm not celebratory. I like it. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
I
I
think
think he adds something. But what I don't think though is that something that he adds is the finishing piece, right? I think he is adds like that secret sauce like Josh Hart adds. A journeyman guy that knows how to play, relatively young. Blase
oh,
blah.
was that a compliment to Josh Hart? You
Yeah.
all right today?
Who me? Yeah, I'm,
What, you
I'm
going to
good.
church? You going to church this morning? What?
No,
What? You seem this is unlike the Freezy that I've come to know. Like
nah. My
really?
my beef with Josh Hart has been the Josh Hart narratives, not Josh Hart himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when we say if it wasn't for Josh Hart, blase blase blah. Like really? If it wasn't for Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson wouldn't have broke out and had a great season. If it wasn't for Josh Hart, Julius Randle wouldn't have been an All-Star. Come on. So that, and then the other narrative is we got to give Josh Hart the bag. Oh, really? We do. Okay, I disagree.
I tell you one thing. They must have promised him something
Yeah,
for him to opt in.
yeah,
That's another reason why that made me feel like something else is cooking. You know,
right.
as the Rock used to say, you smell what the Rock is cooking. I think something else could be cooking because Freezy, why would you opt in?
The deep breath before he says that always makes me laugh. The dude is like, if you smell, and I'm like,
Yo,
man, bro.
I ain't gonna lie to you. The Rock has come a far way from being WWE's great for real.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, if you'd
yeah.
have told me like 10 years after that, 15 years after that, this dude would have been a monster in showbiz and this, that, and the third, I'd have been like, I don't know about that.
Right,
He's a monster right where he is, but
right,
shout out to him, man, because I do enjoy his movies and things of that
right.
nature. But he was definitely the WWE's main guy for a good minute.
Yeah.
Down a long line of good guys. But gosh, I'm trying to get my serious stance in here, and I'm having a hard time
Oh
because
boy, you trying to be serious, Jones?
I
Oh, here
I'm
comes
having
serious
a hard
Jones.
I'm having a hard time because every July we're here again. And then after a move that, even though we agree with it, I'm not sure what the entire Nick Nation feels about Dante DiVincenzo. I know there's tears for for Obadiah no longer being here, but I'm just I want to be to see your vision, Freezy. To
My
have your
vision?
positivity. Yeah, I want to be to have the vision that this is a piece, and da 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 da. I want to be able to get that resolve, that calmness that you're displaying here today. But really and truly inside, I really don't have it because
Right. How about we have a collective vision?
I feel as if this mission could be further along. I feel as if this mission could be further along. I really do.
Right.
So I want to be patient. Let's see. This is July. DiVincenzo is okay. It's a good piece, but let's see where we go from here with it.
Right. Right. How about a collective vision? A Coleco vision, for lack of a better word? How about we share in that? Right? How about we say all
how about we
parties?
round them up, start playing some Cocolico?
Yeah, some Space Invaders.
Cocalivio?
Yeah, some Space Invaders. Yeah, when I was in some Donkey Kong. Yeah. How about we say this? How about we take the thoughts of the chat, like their vision, your vision, and my vision, and we talk about all those things, and then that way we can see if we can find out what the organization's vision is, and if it lines up with the fans or not.
Well, let's start with Parrish. Is Parrish in the chat? Because I know he almost fell off the earth last night.
Really? What happened?
He was so upset. He was so upset that they traded Obi. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Parrish, you all right?
Yeah, I didn't.
Send us a super chat. Let us know you all right.
Yeah, I didn't see the reaction. My thing is, we knew it was coming. We knew it was inevitable. So I didn't find it motivating to do a show about it. And my thing is whether we like Obi or not, we knew that these two parties couldn't coexist.
Anymore.
Yeah, and it's not because Obi is a bad person or a bad player. It's just that this organization is invested in Randall.
You know that song. You remember that? You remember, not to cut you, remember that song from, what was that? The Gladys Knight in the Pitch? Neither one of us.
Yeah, wants to say goodbye.
Wants to be the first to say goodbye.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like with the Knicks and Obi. Neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye.
Right.
But it has to happen.
It has to happen.
It had to happen. It was a mistake in the first place. Let's just keep it a buck. I said this yesterday. They had no business drafting Obadiah.
Right.
Zero. Business drafted Obadiah with someone here in front of him that they already had a relationship and through the CAA, Kentucky, whatever. I'm not going to go there this morning. I'm not even feeling like getting on with that nonsense, right?
Okay.
But
let's kick that can down the road some. So if we get a chance to get to it, we'll get to it.
Right. It's kicked.
Right.
But you had Halliburton there. You had Maxey there. You had
Desmond
other
Bane.
things. Desmond Bane there. It made no sense to draft him and then not have a plan. You can't tell me your plan is 3 years down the line, your first pick as a regime is walking out the door.
Right.
Or you have shown him the door.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So what this was the plan all along. 3 years later, we'll get 2 seconds for him, which I think they didn't get enough for him at least. You could have got a first, I think.
Okay.
You could have got a protected first. 2032.
It's something.
Something. These 2 seconds, I'm not to kill second round picks, but I think for the first pick that you made, and it wasn't like he was Swiss cheese. This isn't Kenny Walker we're talking about, even though you have made the comparison many a days.
Right.
It just in its end, and its in its final moments, it doesn't feel good because it feels like what a waste of time.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, it feels like a waste of time. It feels like something again the Brunson curtain can cover up. I'm like, this man is only but 5'11". He can't cover everything.
Right. Right. Okay.
See what I'm saying? So in his finale, I wish him well. I wish that he gets the aggressiveness that I think that he needs to have. You know, that wake up in the morning like, I'll dunk on somebody today.
Okay.
I'll dunk on the whole team today. Right? I'm gonna catch me 25 and 7. Whatever it is, I'm gonna make myself an issue because he has the talent to do it.
Okay.
But if he doesn't unlock it, no one else will.
Okay.
You know, I was looking for after the trade I heard, I was on with Still Knicks. Salute to Ron and the NBK family and the whole Still Nick Nation. I was on with them yesterday for a bit. And while they were talking, I was looking up, trying to find players who I thought, not necessarily who he physically reminded me of as a player, but someone whose career trajectory, with the right change and attitude and so forth took off. And somehow I came to Kevin Willis. Now, hear me out. Now, Willis is 7 feet. I know, doesn't look, play, but I went back and I was looking at his early couple of years with Atlanta. And the first 2 years was, I think in his second or third year, he averaged 16 and 8.
Okay.
But basically, he was somewhere between 13 points to 8 rebounds a night, playing somewhere between 29 to 30 minutes a game in his first 4 years.
Okay.
He gets injured. He comes back, and all of a sudden, those 8 rebounds goes to 15.8, I think.
Yeah.
He averages 18 points now.
You talking about it coincided with the Cliff Livingston injury? Remember Cliff Livingston?
I believe so. But
it was him, Dominique Wilkins, Cliff Livingston all get hurt. Like they don't get a chance to play together. As Dominique gets hurt, and then Willis gets the ball, and then Willis gets hurt. Dominique comes back. It's him and Livingston.
Right.
And then Livingston gets hurt, and then it's Dominique and Kevin Willis, and the rest is history.
Right. But his individual game had grown. So that's what I'm talking about with Obi.
Okay.
Will your individual game grow? Like I said, the man goes from averaging 8 rebounds a game to almost 16 in one season.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a jump.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we see that kind of jump in Obi going forward in with his new team? Because like any other player that leaves our franchise, we don't totally just disassociate. We peep in from here and time to time to see how they're doing and so forth. So again, I wish you well, Obi. You could have been better. You should have been better. You should never have been drafted by your hometown team.
Let me add a point to that. So I'm going to add a point to that just real quick. I don't think it's going to be like that. And chat, hear me out on this. Just hear me all the way through, because I know sometimes in the chat we have itchy fingers, right? So like you hear like the first 2 words, and then
they type it,
and then put a soliloquy in the chat, right? But my thing is, I don't think Obi's gonna pop with Indiana, right? I think Obi is probably gonna show a little promise, but it'll be more of the same, right? And I know people's fingers are itching just to say something right now. Relax and hear me out on this. I think what's going to happen is when Obi hits free agency and gets to choose his own destination, I think you'll see Obi Toppin have a Julius Randle type of emergence on the team of his choice, right? Because Julius Randle is probably the blueprint of a guy that goes to a team, too much stuff going on. He winds up leaving that team, goes to a way station like New Orleans, regroups, gets himself together, and then goes to a team that he wants to play for and they want him. And once Obi does that, I can see Obi popping, right? Because the thing is, Rick, you remember Rick Carlisle, bro? You think Rick Carlisle is gonna let Obi Toppin develop into something?
I mean, Rick Carlisle's not a bad coach, and I know where you're going with it. He's not a bad coach per se, but he, as far as if he is he the right coach for Obi, that's yet to be seen.
Right.
You know, does Obi take? I'm more on the side of does Obi take his career to the position where he wants it to go?
Right.
This is your opportunity. You've been traded.
Yeah.
It's a brand new land.
Right.
You know, brand new sandbox.
Right.
Do you come in and sit down with all the rest of the kids, or do you come in and get kids in order?
Right.
See, you know what I'm saying? Do you come in and announce, I'm here, I'm ready to play?
Right.
You know, but like I said, I wish him well. You know,
definitely wish him well.
We never should have drafted him.
Yeah, or we should have had a plan for him.
Or a plan for him.
Yeah, yeah. Because I understand the reason why they drafted him. He was a college player of the year. He was going to a team that had a lack of athleticism. We hadn't seen an athlete like Obi on this roster in the front court since Amari, maybe. Flight White, maybe.
Yeah, right, but right. not with long-term potential. I get that as well, but we needed a point guard since Mark Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one was available.
Yeah.
A couple of guards were available.
I think they thought they were getting Fred VanVleet or Chris Paul is the reason why they messed up. Remember Fred VanVleet, Chris Paul, all these. Remember when Leon Rose, and not to do a history lesson, but if you remember that shortened season, there were things going on in the world that had that whole season weird, right? The entire season was weird, right? Remember the draft was in November of that year,
right?
Right. So now guys like Julius Randle, and this is one of the things that people don't speak to. Guys like Julius Randle, who had a terrible season this year, not terrible, but not his best season the year before that. Julius Randle had from March all the way till November to train and get better. So coming into that season, he had the time to fix all of his deficiencies, right? And then put that on the grand stage. At the same time, March Madness was canceled, so you didn't get to see Obi play against high-level competition, right? So you didn't get a chance to see Obi play against high-level competition to see whether he was that guy or not. It's the same thing with Quickly. If Quickly and Tyrese Maxey would have played in a tournament, if there'd been a tournament that year, we wouldn't have got Quickly, and Maxey wouldn't have dropped as far as he dropped either. Right? Because Quickly was the SEC player of the year. People forget that. Not Maxey, Quickly.
Right.
Was the SEC player of the year. Right? And so the circumstance around a new front office, things going on around in the world, trying to resume the new league year, kind of put us in that spot where you had to kind of take a leap of faith on guys. And so I think they took a leap of faith on a hyper athletic, seasoned guy that was also the NCAA College Player of the Year in Obi Toppin. Because if you don't get film and all you see is, okay, this dude's the best athlete in this draft, and he proved it on a college level by being the College Player of the Year, and he's from New York. All signs pointing to you, if he falls to you, you got to take him. You might even trade up a spot to take him.
But okay, fair. All those points are fair, except for you did not trade Julius. You kept him.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
See
No
what I'm
doubt.
saying? Like we don't know what tomorrow brings, Freezy.
But AD, you missed my point though. You
No,
missed my
no.
first point.
I think I'm there with as far as why.
No, not Obi. No, not the point on Obi. I'm talking about the point on Randall.
Oh,
Remember,
okay. Okay.
Randall was a Knick already. And so they
Right.
had that entire stretch to watch Randall. And they're like, why would we trade this right here? This dude looks incredible. Because he had time to improve on his deficiencies. You know what I'm saying? Randall is already in-house. You're watching him from the time Leon Rose takes the job, March, all the way to November. That is what, 8 months? So you get 8 months to watch Randall in your gym and track his progress. Right? So why would you, are we trading that? And this is me being Leon Rose. Are we trading that to maybe bring in a rookie to replace him? Why don't we just give Randall another shot, give him a year, and then that way OB can get acclimated, and then we'll trade Randall next year. Is what I'm thinking they were thinking. But in that period while they were acclimating OB, getting OB ready to take over, Julius Randle becomes an all-star, all-NBA, and most improved player. So it's just a circumstance, bro. It's just a circumstance.
You know what you sound like?
This is what it sounds like when doves cry? This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Okay, my bad.
You know what you sound like? You sound like that brother that get caught because he got a wife and he got another family like less than 2 miles. Like, look,
yeah.
Circumstances are, I know we got married, but guess what? It never works out, Fraser.
I understand.
It never works out.
I'm not saying that it did. All I'm saying is there were insinuating circumstances around it. I could see where they would take this road, is what I'm getting at.
Well, I didn't understand it then. I liked Obadiah coming out of college, but I wanted a guard more. So right. I didn't understand it then. And in the end, wish you well, my brother.
Right.
I hope this is not another.
I think it's not the end. It's not the end for Obi. Obi is going to be a good NBA player, right? But usually it's not that first team that you go to after you break up. You notice like when you break up with somebody, it's never like the next person that you date is never the person. Right? It's always, you have that bounce back relationship.
So it's 7 persons down the line?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's if you AD. For most people, though, it's for the next person. You know what I'm saying? If you AD, that's how things go. Not most people. I mean, most people don't get compared to Billy D. Williams. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I'm telling you, stop playing. That was Billy D, baby. You don't want my hands to fall off. You don't want my hands to fall off.
Lady Sings the Blues. Yes.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
Classic piece of cinema. Check that out.
Yeah, man.
To the people who haven't seen it in a minute or who've never seen it before.
Yeah,
Lady
man.
Sings the Blues. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So my thing, AD, is not that I don't regret the Obi trade. I don't even regret the Obi draft pick. Right? What I do regret is the fact that we couldn't figure out a better way to make it work. That's what I regret.
And that's a part of management's jacket.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because all moves, no matter how big or small, they're supposed to be leading to the ultimate prize.
Okay.
All moves. But
right.
if you, it makes me wonder to put some of these, some of my wacky thinking together. You draft OB.
Okay.
He's on the bench for 3 years, whatever. But that's what happened for 3 years. And then 2 years later, or 2 out of the next 3 years, you punt on the draft.
Yeah.
But yet still, you have all of these picks. If they got 10 first, they got 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are they for?
Ooh.
Are they only to make mistakes go away?
That's a great point.
Because basically that's all you've done with your stockpile of picks so far. You had to pay for Burks to go away. You had to pay for Noel to go away. Right? You have to pay for Cam Reddish to go away.
Right. Had to pay for Burks, Kemba, right? And may have to pay for Fournier to go away.
Oh, you're gonna have to pay for Fournier to go away. Let's just keep that a buck because he has another year on his contract.
Right. Right. Right.
So when I hear these narratives, Freezy, that they're gonna do something, or the latest narrative is this nonsense about Joel Embiid. I'm like, we can't fall for the banana in the tailpipe yet again.
Oh, we can. Yeah, we can.
No, we can't. We just can't. Freezy. We just can't. If I hear this again, that's why they're stockpiling these. Every year I keep hearing the same thing.
Every year.
They put out the narrative to Woj, and then Woj, sits up there looking like some news broadcaster from 1950. Whoa.
This is Walter Crime.
You know what I'm saying? This is Woj. this is Woj. The state of the Knicks. And maybe that they'll be looking for it next year. When he said that, I'm like, hold on a second. Where have I heard this before? Oh, last year and the year before, you said the same thing.
Yep.
And the trading deadline, you said the same thing. And the trading deadline before that, you said the same thing.
Right.
When does the narrative change? Who among the mythical gods of the NBA will drop to the Knicks for the Knicks to finally say, you are worth taking the shot on? Who? Thy friend, Uncle Freezy. Who will be that lucky person?
Nobody. What we should be doing is going out and getting young players and letting them develop. You don't have to have a million young players on the roster. For instance, AD, when's the last time the Knicks had a Kobe Bryant level young player on the roster? I can tell you exactly when it was. 1985.
Kobe Bryant level young player on the roster.
Yeah, a legit blue chipper, fresh out of the draft. When's the last time the Knicks had a?
That's 1985.
In 1985, right?
Yeah.
Right. So with all these picks, you don't have to take a shot with all the picks. You can just consolidate and move up in drafts and go get your Kobe Bryant type player. Right?
According to you, Freezy, because remember, we've had this conversation a few times on the draft, and you told me this is 1996 draft all over again.
This is 1996 summer all over again.
They're going to regret not getting one of these, if they don't get up somehow to get in, they're going to regret. So how are we going to do or build from these younger guys, so to speak, if you're punting on drafts? There was a guy, I think there's 2 or 3 guys that I looked at. One I saw that I heard that they worked out. I think his name is KJ Williams, out of LSU.
Okay.
Right? Power forward, 6'10", can really stroke it, especially from deep. I watched a few of his games. I'm like, ooh, okay. We need bigs who can shoot, can play the 4 to 5. Looks like something. Maybe they get him in the second round or something of that effect. He goes undrafted.
And they still don't sign him.
OKC signs him.
Of course they do.
You sign Obadiah's younger brother. Why you want to continue this family relationship beyond me? Why the family allowed the son to sign this deal with the Knicks?
I would never. I would never, bro. If it was me, I'm not. No. You gonna do.
You done see what your firstborn went through,
right? And you gonna submit your second son to the same thing? No.
Who plays the same position,
right?
Same height,
right?
Same athletic gifts,
right?
Freezy, I want to think they tried to tell him no.
Right.
I want to think mother and pops was like, yo, don't do it.
Right.
Don't sign with him.
Right.
I was utterly shocked that they signed him.
Right. It made no sense to me.
Made no sense.
And then you trade his brother.
I don't care. I don't care if he turns out to be Connie Hawkins.
Right. Right.
Movement-wise, makes no sense. Because he's another one. Can't shoot.
Right. Connie Hawkins?
No. Him. Obadiah. Can't shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, Obadiah Jr. Can't shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. And so for those that don't know who Connie Hawkins is, think Kawhi Leonard. Think Kawhi Leonard. The original Claw, Connie Hawkins.
Yeah. He's on my fantasy team that I drafted when I lapped all of you guys. Lapped you all. Shout out to all the participants that took part in the fantasy draft. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Yeah, I understand where you're going with it, but I do. Getting back to the original question, have the Knicks arrived? I'm uncertain.
You're the same man Thursday night that we had to almost put out an emergency watch squad on.
You had to have the crash
because you look like you was about to come through the screen. Like
and jump on Leon Rose.
Like you was about to be Bill Bixby into the Hulk. He was so tight.
Bro,
I don't even think you said bye when you left him, and it was like, "Yo, I'm out." All right, good.
All right, y'all. Yeah, all right, y'all. Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, no, man. My thing is, and I try not to live in the moments. If the moment happened, it happened. You know what I'm saying? If I was tight Friday, I ain't gonna stay in that moment, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll diffuse. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being like mad for no reason, or mad for an obvious reason, instead of staying there, you know what I'm saying? Instead of like trying to change some things that I can't control, let it be. I listen to the Beatles, bro. I listen to the Beatles. Might be one of the greatest rock bands of all time. But behind Queen and Traffic and the Grateful Dead.
Have you ever heard John Lennon? I'm just a jealous guy.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, if you haven't,
was that 1974?
If you haven't,
that's 74.
Play that.
Right?
Play that.
Okay. Yeah.
Play that.
Yeah.
Once you look at it, once you see another team win the championship, play I'm just a jealous guy.
Okay. Yeah, I think Queen is better than the Beatles, but that's a joint for another conversation.
You may have like there is baby boomers that will absolutely look for you and ruin your career. You say some crap like that.
Nah, bro,
you say some crap.
I've had the conversation over the years. The thing is the Beatles are a niche. But okay. So if you are of color, you hear Queen everywhere you go.
Yes.
Right. If you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Even if you're a WWE person, if you like wrestling and you remember the Junkyard Dog busting out of the back with a junkyard chain around his neck, you remember the song that he came out to? Doom, doom, doom. Another one bites the dust. That's not the Beatles, man. That's Queen.
Another one bites, dude. That was what?
Yep.
That was a hot joint. That's Queen.
Yeah, that's Queen.
That's Queen all day.
And if you remember Vanilla Ice,
yeah,
that's Queen.
Yeah, Ice Baby. That's Queen too.
That's Queen and David Bowie. Yeah. And if your girl, if you date like women, and if you date women in their 40s or 50s and up, one of their favorite songs is Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody always winds up in a playlist. You like Bohemian Rhapsody?
No, Queen had joints.
Yes.
Queen had joint. Queen has forever. Not to say the Beatles don't, because that's before my generation as well. But you know, we love music.
Right.
You know, but Queen, you know what I mean? Queen was absolutely Queen was a monster.
Fat Bottom Girls. I mean,
Queen got joints. Queen got joints for days, but you know, it can be generational. But you know, you can't go wrong with either one.
I don't think,
depending on the mood that you're in.
I don't think you can. But yeah, my point to that moment is, I was frustrated in that moment. I was also frustrated about the draft. But I'm a Knicks fan. As a fan, we always feel like we should get what we want, right? But as an organization, you have to pick out goals for the fans. Like, if you're how do you please the fans? Do you get them a championship or players that they like? Because a lot of times you're not going to be able to do both. A lot of times you're not going to be able to do both.
You're not going to be able to do both, Freezy, but at some point you have to seem like you're heading to the championship.
Yeah.
You know, because you can fade away in memory quite easy. You can be one of those teams that coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
You know, we've gone down this road before. How many great NBA teams or that we thought were great that had the opportunity to win the NBA finals, or better yet, to even get to a finals.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You don't have forever to do this.
Okay.
To me, any franchise, I'm giving you 5 years. I'm gonna be fair. Okay? I'm gonna give you 5 years. Within that 5 years, if you don't seem like you know what you're doing, you can get fired along the line within that 5 years.
Right.
How I see things. Okay? But after the 5, if you were having some reasonable, just use this management. They're going into their 5th year now?
Fourth full season?
4 full seasons, so they're going into their so they're going into their 5th, right?
Okay.
Do they seem like they're on the championship right now? They won 47 games. They got Brunson. So I would say it would be more 60-40.
Okay.
So at the end of 5 years, we would then say, okay, to be fair, where are we?
Okay.
But it doesn't mean It doesn't mean that you sit and you this slow piece here and piece there, because within that 5 years, Freezy, everybody's not going to be on your timeline.
Right.
Things change for other people.
Yeah. And other teams.
Yeah. Are you able to take advantage of what's going on around you? Because you may have a 5-year plan. I have a 5-year plan. But all of a sudden, this person becomes available.
Yeah.
That can help you expedite your plan.
Yeah.
Do you stay with the plan? Or do you know what?
I understand.
I wasn't expecting fan
I understand where you're coming from, right? I do. Right. My issue with this is because I think what you're speaking to And in previous shows, I think I maybe misunderstood, because in previous shows I thought you were talking about quick fix. But I think what you're talking
No.
about is adding core pieces, right? Like adding core pieces. Like, do you add a 27, 28-year-old Zach LaVine? Do you add a 30-year-old Bradley Beal with 4 more good years left in him? Do you add a piece?
Would you have traded DeRozan for Kawhi at that time if you were Toronto? Take a look at what Toronto was for the 2 to 3 years prior to that. Would you have made that deal?
Yes. And not
And I don't even have to ask why.
Right. But let me explain why though. At the time, Kawhi Leonard was beefing with the Spurs. Remember that Kawhi Leonard sat out all those games? Remember Kawhi Leonard looked like a sourpuss? Everybody was down on Kawhi.
But he was kind of hurt as well.
Yeah, because he had the thigh injury and he wouldn't play. And the Spurs was like, man, it ain't that bad. You need to play. And Kawhi was like, yo, I'm racking up these injuries. Y'all been telling me to play through injuries, and now I'm starting to slow down some. No, I'm not playing through this one. I'm going to get right. And they're like, no, you got to play. Oh, remember, all of that stuff was going on.
Okay.
And come to find out, Kawhi was right. The Spurs making him play through all these injuries. And then now he's breaking down in front of our face, and now people calling him injury prone. Right? If Kawhi would have just did that earlier, he may have been out of San Antonio earlier, but he may have been healthier in his latter years, right? At the same time that was happening, DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry was getting embarrassed by LeBron in the playoffs every year. Every year, as soon as you saw the Toronto-Cleveland matchup, you like, LeBron is going to find some way to embarrass the Raptors, whether it's scored 30 points in the quarter or knock down 8 threes or keep hitting clutch shot. Every year, LeBron found a way to embarrass. So if you're Toronto, you're like, I just can't take this no more, man. I just can't. And if you're San Antonio, you're like, man, this dude telling us he demanded a trade to the Lakers. Is he crazy? Kawhi Leonard is telling the Spurs to trade him to the Lakers. I'll tell you what, Kawhi, not only will we trade you, we'll trade your ass out the country. You know what I'm saying? You're going to tell us to trade you to our rival? Are you bananas? We'll trade you, all right. Right? It's just so even though it was breaking news at the time, you kind of knew it was a match made in heaven. Because LeBron was in back, and then the weird thing is, you remember the rumors LeBron was going to the Lakers. That was the rumor. It hadn't happened yet, remember?
Right.
So now you talking about, so the Spurs like, wait a minute. You want to team up with LeBron with the Lakers? Man, you crazy. So it's like when you think about all the settings, the surrounding details, then I can understand. I can understand why. I can understand why. But as far as for us, the reason why you brought up that example, I think, is if you're the Knicks and you're sitting on these assets, why not go get a guy?
Mm-hmm.
And so, AD, what I would say to that is, I think the Knicks are 14 deep. If the Knicks had kept Obi, they'd have been 15 deep with a 9-man rotation. Right? So now you're talking about who's going to play, who's going to be disgruntled. I think they had to move Obi in order to make room for other guys in the rotation.
Okay. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
You know. But that's who we are as Knicks fans. We're always on the other end of the hope.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
We're
What?
always on the other end of the hope.
My thing is though, as you have been a Knicks fan
Too long.
since forever. I'm just gonna too
Too long.
long since forever. I'm just gonna
Like a
just
Bobby Womack record.
yeah 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 yeah
I've been loving you.
yeah. Bobby Womack, bro. If I ever see Bobby Womack, if I think he passed away, right?
I
I
think
think he.
Bobby did. I don't. I hate saying someone passed away when they didn't, but I think Bobby did pass away. Bobby was a genius. Yo. Bobby wrote a lot of hits.
Yeah, he was, but
I
he.
wrote a lot of hits, and he also took Sam Cooke's wife.
Yeah, that's all I remember. That's all I remember. All the other stuff. That's all I remember.
Bobby was the comforting arm. Yeah, the shoulder to cry on.
And these loving arms. Yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
Bobby said Sam Cooke had 5 brothers. Bobby said they beat him every which way possible.
yeah.
They restructured his jaw,
Yes.
everything.
Every time they saw him, they were trying to put their paws on. Yes. Every time they saw him, they were trying to put them paws on him. But anyway,
Bobby.
yeah, man. But if you're the Knicks, like you're in this yes, and sure went right to it. Bobby brother took Sam Cooke to yep, that too.
Bobby writes one of my favorite seasonal record. He writes Summer Breeze.
Yeah.
The Isley brothers did it over.
Yeah.
Bobby was tremendously talented. But like I said, Bobby was the shoulder to cry on. But the truth be told, Bobby was seeing her before Sam died.
Yes.
Yeah. Bobby was seeing her, but Bobby's kind of like that character with in Power in season 1. He's kind of like the chauffeur, the driver.
Yeah.
He's there every day. Oh, Sam's my big brother. Where you want to go shopping? The third. Bobby was right there. No disrespect to Bobby Womack. You know what I mean? Because like I said,
I've never seen that show.
What, Power?
Power. Yeah, I've never seen.
Word? No, yeah. that was well, in the beginning there was some good TV watching, But salute to them.
I'm just busy.
Huh?
I'm just busy.
I know, Freezy, you're the hardest working man in the podcast business. Maybe you all over the place.
Yeah, I'm just busy. Always working on stuff. Just also want to say shout out real quick before I forget. Shout out to Jay Ellis and the Nick of Time Show. Shout out to We Talk Mavs, King Kai, and Rel. Shout out to Damon, We Talk Hawks. Shout out to Sim Russell and Nothing But Knicks, man. It was partying yesterday.
Yeah, they had their barbecue and stuff, man. Yeah, I wanted to make it, but I tended to go. So Sim, excuse me and stuff that I couldn't make it, but
right.
God willing, next year we will be in attendance.
Yeah, next year yeah. So we definitely gonna.
I like to see the podcast community, especially what he does. Linking up and putting same talent in the building. And I think the first year he had something was in Atlantic City. That was like 2 years ago, and I went out there. I was there for that, and people, just to show you that the love that they had, because the weather sucked that weekend, right. especially driving through Jersey that weekend. I mean, they had a storm that was just. But we trooped it out there, we still made it out there and so forth, because it was, the first, and, just to connect, faces with the voice and things of that nature. So shout out to Sim. He's doing, he's done like, I remember when I found his show some 6-7 years ago or something to that effect. It was like, wow, there's people out here feeling like I'm feeling, want to talk about the Knicks.
Yeah.
And it goes from there. That's when I became familiar with you. That's when I saw you was on his show.
You're fighting against everybody.
Yeah, and everybody else.
Yeah, fighting.
Yeah. So salute to everyone.
Me and Lee's fighting every day. Yeah.
Those were, it's always when you can look back in the beginnings of something, when something was pure and just, You got Time to Kill, which we all had at that time because we in the midst of COVID, and it's like, you know, some of your best moments come out.
Yeah.
You know, I remember a lot of our early shows, not our show per se, but just the show and how it's, you know, transitioned and so forth. When, you know, the days of with, you know, G-Man for life, and, you know,
Shout out to G-Man too.
oh, shout out to G-Man. I haven't seen
Happy
G-Man in a
birthday.
minute.
Him and Willis Reed and Ray Felton birthday all on the same day.
Oh, well, happy belated G-Man.
Yeah, happy belated G-Man.
You know, those were some good moments when you had a lot of raw, honest enthusiasm, you know, for people who wasn't just saying something for likes and, you know, clickbait and stuff like that. You had a lot of real good, honest debate and stuff. So salute to all the podcasters and all of the people who follow podcasts.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. No doubt. No doubt, man. Salute to all of them. AD, man, I can't do a long show today, man. I got like 10 minutes. Because I got something else that I gotta
the people understand.
Yeah, y'all. And so my apologies. It's just a weird holiday weekend /
4th of July. Be safe out there, everybody.
People in town.
Yeah.
/ all of that. Yeah. But what I wanted to say though is I think you said something brilliant. And a lot of times when we say, like, when we have smart thought, I think people hear the very initial part of it and don't hear it all the way through, especially in these days and times where everything is you on your telephone, everything is buzzwords, buzz phrases, everything is snippets and sound bites. I think your reaction to Bradley Beal getting traded to Phoenix was brilliant. And the reason why I say it was brilliant is not because of Bradley Beal himself, right, being traded to the other conference. I think what you were saying about how the Knicks have to be in position to be able to pull off these moves when these moves present themselves. And clearly in the case of Bradley Beal, we were not. And the same thing with Donovan Mitchell, we were not.
You were not.
Same thing with Zach LaVine, we are not.
You're not.
Right. Because if you're just speaking from a pure speculation standpoint, if it's just pure speculative stuff, the Knicks have way more to acquire Donovan Mitchell than what's required. Right? The same thing with Zach LaVine. The Knicks have way more to offer for Zach LaVine than what the Chicago Bulls are required. When you look at what Bradley Beal went for, you're telling me the Knicks couldn't have matched or beat that. And then when it comes time for us to trading Obi, you see what we got in return?
Yeah.
Just food for thought, bro.
It's like we hired some people that supposedly have ironclad relationships in the business. Right. It's the same thing when we brought Mills back for the 300th time.
Yeah, he'll be back.
He has relationships in the business.
Yeah.
You know, I used to mess with a girl that worked at the Garden. That was my source. That was my relationship in the business. How did that help the Knicks?
Right.
How did Mills help? How and him and his so-called relationships help the Knicks?
I'm still.
How has the Knicks been able to take advantage of Worldwide West's so-called relationships? The man was for at least 3 years flirting with Bradley Beal, damn near tampering, if you believe the media outlets.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How did that work out?
Yeah, and you have the expiring contract. You had the expiring contracts of Derrick Rose and Fournier, right? You have a bunch of draft picks. You have a bunch of attractive young players. So to think that the combination of expiring contracts, attractive young players, and basically an unlimited amount of first round picks is not enough to get a Bradley Beal or a Zach LaVine or a Donovan Mitchell, I think is naive.
You got the wrong people handling negotiations. You got the wrong mindset.
Yeah.
You know, you can't get something for nothing, Freezy.
I know.
You know, this thing where the feeling that I get is like they're trying to be the ones to come out with, you know, when it's all said and done, they won the trade. You don't know you win a trade until a year or so
later. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? When you make a trade, it's like, how does it look on paper? Right. How are they going to mesh in the locker room? Right. We're hoping he has the right temperament for this environment.
Right.
You're not going to know all those things until you start playing. You're not going to know all those things until you go through some shit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, you know, maybe later, next year. If you don't win a playoff round, we're having a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
You see, because the owner is only demanding partial success.
Yeah. I can't blame Dolan for his stance right now, though.
I can't neither, but here's the thing. You're still at the head of the table.
You're still at the head of the table, though, right? Right. And ultimately what I'm saying is I think older Dolan recognizes that you know, turn it into a mosh pit and telling people we're gonna get everybody because we're the Knicks. That don't necessarily work anymore, or may have never worked. And so now you have to treat your franchise like the other 29 franchises.
Yeah, but how can I own something that's worth so much and I wash my hands of it? And I only care whether you turn a profit or if the lights are on, that helps turn the profit at a certain point of the year.
Yeah, the lobster rolls and champagne. yo, and caviar, bro. Yo, caviar. Yeah,
they do know how to make some lobster rolls. I tell you that,
bro. Whatever that garlic butter and mayo, whatever it is that be on the lobster rolls.
All right, so we can forgive Dolan a little bit.
Yeah, and caviar, bro.
It's on a fine spread.
Caviar looks like little black bubbles, bro. And you put it on those $40 crackers, bro. Absolutely. It's like heaven. I got heaven right here on earth. That's what it's like.
I can't with you, Freezy. Freezy, you went from the honey buns to champagne caviar
and bubble baths.
And bubble baths.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Yeah, man.
We out of here?
Yeah, I got to get out of here, man. It's July 4th weekend. Everybody be safe.
Be safe.
We're gonna try to put out as much content as we can. Y'all be safe, man. Don't be a what's his name? The dude from the Giants that blew his hand off.
Man. Oh wow.
Don't be a Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah.
Be safe out here.
Be safe with those fireworks.
Yeah, with that stuff and
the grill.
Yeah, be careful at the grill drinking, and all that stuff, and at the cooler.
And Uncle Sam that's gonna be telling all kind of crazy stuff from Vietnam days. If you see that man, take out the claw, run. Absolutely.
You don't want to be born on the 4th of July. You remember that movie, Born Under the Book?
That was a good movie. I saw that recently, actually.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, man. So thank y'all everybody for rocking with us. We're gonna get out of here.
See you in the whirlwind.
See you in the whirlwind. Peace, y'all.
RV.
Yeah, man.